Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my picks for the best new makeup releases of 2022 so far. I cannot believe that we are halfway through the year already. For most of my YouTube career, I have put out a video like this around this time where I sort of recap the best products I've tried over the past 6 months. Nearly every month, I put out a video titled Testing Hot New Makeup Releases. And that's the video where I gather as many new makeup releases as possible, test them out for the first time on camera so that you can see my genuine reaction, first impressions to the products. So I feel like doing this video midway through the year helps both you and me to really determine which products have stood out, which ones are the ones that I continue to reach for on a daily basis when I'm doing my makeup. These are the ones that I talk about in a lot of videos, or I will be talking about in more videos going forward, because I just find myself reaching for them all the time. And you guys know I like to shake things up a little bit sometimes. Not that this is a big shake up, but what I'm doing differently for this year's video is I am taking my #1 product in each category. So my favorite eyeshadow palette so far this year, my favorite bronzer so far this year, my favorite lip color so far this year. I think if I were told right now that I could only grab one product per category to use for the next 6 months, these would be the products I would choose. Beginning with foundation. I went back and forth on this one because I have my go-to favorites like Estee Lauder Double Wear, MAC Studio Fix Fluid, and I did test out quite a few new foundations so far this year. And I did post a video ranking the foundations that I've tried a couple of months ago. But since that time, I've obviously gotten to use them more. And I would have to say that my favorite new foundation release, again, I'm excluding my old faithfuls like MAC Studio Fix Fluid and Estee Lauder Double Wear because those are far from being new. But as far as new releases go, my top pick is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Long Wearing Undetectable Liquid Foundation. This is fantastic on my skin type, which by the way, is oily. I have heard from other influencers with dry skin that this is not their favorite. But I think we all know by now that skin type and skin texture makes a world of difference when it comes to whether or not a product, especially a foundation, works on you or it doesn't. This foundation works beautifully on my skin. It is extremely long wearing. It holds up in this Las Vegas heat. I've been reaching for this on many nights out over my MAC Studio Fix Fluid, which has been my go-to most flawless foundation for years. But I decided that I was going to take a step back from wearing full coverage all the time. And this is that one step back from being completely full and flawless. This foundation comes in 40 shades. It retails for $43. It is vegan, it is non-comedogenic, it's waterproof, it's sweat-proof. My results with this foundation were a pleasant surprise because I did not like the original formulation of the Makeup Forever HD. But this one gets 2 thumbs up for me. It is the new foundation release of 2022 that I find myself reaching for the most. Now, I don't know if that choice of foundation came as a surprise to anyone, but I have a feeling that the concealer choice will, because when I tested out this LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer in one of my Testing Hot New Makeup videos from earlier this year, I wasn't in love with it. I felt like it didn't really have the full coverage that it was claiming to have, and I still don't think it does. It's definitely not as full coverage as, say, a Tarte Shape Tape or even a NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, or even one of my drugstore favorites, which is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is definitely, in my opinion, more medium coverage, but it's great for every day. It's great for when you want to look just really natural. Or if you are someone that finds concealers that are more full coverage, like the ones I just mentioned a moment ago, If you think those are too heavy and they tend to settle into fine lines around the eyes and just look heavy and cakey, then you might want to give this one a try. It's very creamy, it's very easy to blend, and I find that if you use this concealer on top of a corrector, you're actually going to get the perfect amount of coverage. I have just been really happy with this concealer. I find myself reaching for it all the time lately. This product is also vegan, cruelty-free, and gluten-free. This concealer is also supposed to be self-setting, which means that you do not need to set it with a powder. But I still do because I love the brightening effect of a powder. And one of my favorite under eye setting powders of all time is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder. And for the past couple of years, I have used the shade Pound Cake. However, earlier this year, Huda Beauty came out with the shade Cherry Blossom. Unfortunately, before I began filming this video, I did check to see if it was back in stock because I'm pretty sure it sold out almost immediately. I was one of the lucky ones who got to order it as soon as it launched, but it is unfortunately sold out. It doesn't say on the Sephora website that it's limited edition. Actually, let me look that up. Okay, I'm on the Huda Beauty website right now, and I'm seeing a post that was dated March 1st. I guess that's when it launched. And I do not see anything about it being limited edition, although I feel like I've heard that. Well, hopefully Huda and her team will see that there is quite the demand for this product and make it permanent. This is a beautiful powder for brightening the under eyes. Again, the original formula, not in this particular shade, has been one of my go-tos for years. And every time I talk about that powder, I do mention that it does have quite an intense fragrance to it. And I know there are people out there who do not like fragrance in any makeup product whatsoever, and I totally get it. I have purchased makeup in the past where as soon as I've opened up the packaging, I could smell something that I just did not like, and it immediately went back. I didn't even want to try it. And as soon as I opened up this powder, I could definitely smell something, but it wasn't offensive to me. I actually really like the smell of this powder. So even though I don't mind the scent, I think it's really important to mention that whenever I talk about this powder, in case that's something that you don't like. As I mentioned, I do use this particular shade mostly for setting my concealer and brightening the under eye area, but I use it to brighten the T-zone area of my face as well, and also to set my makeup and keep the shine away. This powder just makes my skin look so pretty. Up next is bronzer, and I am going with a cream bronzer for my top pick. This is the new one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. I have the shade medium, and I have not stopped using this since I got it. I have a lot of cream bronzers and contours in my collection that I think are excellent, but as many of you know, Charlotte Tilbury is one of my favorite brands of all time. Even with that being the case, I don't always love every product she comes out with, but I really do love this cream bronzer. I use it to contour my nose as well. It just looks very natural. I find it very easy to blend. It is a 16-hour wear cream bronzer. It comes in 4 shades for the face and body. It blurs skin, it hydrates, it contains hyaluronic acid, and it is sweat-proof. All right, moving on to blush. This was a very, very difficult category for me to choose just one because I am blush obsessed. I am absolutely loving the bronzers from Bare Minerals. There was a little bit of confusion in my brain on whether or not that would be considered a new product. I did use it. I did use one of the shades in my testing hot new makeup video. I think it was in May, and people told me that's not a new product. And I mentioned in that video that I was aware that the bronzers had come out last summer as a limited edition product, but then Bare Minerals brought them back as, I believe, a permanent product, or at least for another summer. So I guess I consider them new, but some people wouldn't. Regardless, I did not choose one of those as my top pick for that reason, although I do find myself reaching for all 3 shades all the time. Now for my top pick, I did choose something that I have raved about in at least one other video, and I think it's going to surprise many of you because I don't hear a lot of influencers talking about this product at all. It is the Violet Voss Bubbly Blush Bellini Face Palette. It contains 3 matte blushes and a highlighter. It retails for $39. These blushes are super pigmented. They're creamy, they're blendable, and I truly adore the color selection. I feel like these shades will work on any skin tone. Fair, light, medium, dark, deep, no matter what your skin tone is, I think you can use this palette. If you are very fair, I would recommend using a very light hand, perhaps using a fan brush to apply it. Anytime I've traveled since I purchased this palette, I have taken this with me. It is just so good, so user-friendly, perfect for any occasion. Even though there is a highlighter in that blush palette, I don't always want to use a gold highlighter. So lately I have been reaching for this one from Sigma. This is the Sunstone highlighter. I would describe this shade as a muted rose gold. I also see a little bit of peach in here as well. On the skin, it just translates into a soft, I guess, champagne glow. I don't know why I'm having such a difficult time describing this color, but here it is. I think it's beautiful. It does emphasize texture a little bit, but I honestly don't mind. I just think the color is absolutely beautiful, and I really don't have, as far as I know, anything else like this in my collection. Okay, moving on to brows. My top pick kind of surprised me. It is the Gwen Stefani Give Eyebrow Pencil. This one is called Hella On Point. It is an ultra fine brow pencil. As you can see, it has a spoolie on one end and then a fine point on the other side, but it's not so fine that it breaks off easily. I really, really like the Huda Beauty brow pencil, the real fine one that she makes, but I don't know if this happens to other people. I have heard that it does, but I've also heard from people that say that it does not happen with their pencils. But for me, every single time I use that pencil, the tip breaks off. No matter how light-handed I try to go, that tip just continuously breaks off. I do not have that problem with this. It's not quite as thin as the Huda Beauty, but it's pretty close. And the color is excellent. This does not have the shade name on it as far as I can tell. But then again, as usual, I've forgotten to bring in my glasses. So I'm going to take a photo and zoom in. And no, I do not see a shade name on here. But let me go to the website. It's number 1, Neutral Blonde. And I remember that because I was debating between that one and the Cool Taupe. And I distinctly remember choosing the Neutral Blonde. Neutral Blonde. All right, let's talk about some eye products. My number 1 eyeshadow palette purchase this year is actually my first ever purchase from the brand Lunar Beauty. This is the Nude Prism eyeshadow palette. This palette contains 18 shades. It retails for $48. It has 12 creamy matte shades and 6 reflective shimmers. I love everything about this palette, from the packaging to the formula. As I mentioned a moment ago, this was my first Lunar Beauty purchase. I have never been sent any PR from the brand. I have never purchased anything else from the brand, but I definitely will purchase more now because I am really, really impressed with the formula of these eyeshadows, with the formula of the shimmers. I really like that you can use these shimmers without having to dampen your brush. I just use my finger, I go in and I pack the shadow on, and if you want more intensity, you just keep building. You can also layer different shades. I think I've layered like 3 different shades on my lids today. The size of the palette is great. I love that it has a mirror. Well done, Manny. I am crazy about this palette. Now lately, more often than not, I have been using one of the matte shades from the Nude Prism palette, either the dark brown or the black, as my eyeliner. but I still like to do a winged liquid liner on occasion. And then also when I wear false eyelashes, I do like to take a liquid eyeliner and go over the band or even apply a little bit to the inner corners of my eye just to make it look like it's one long cohesive line. And for that, I have really been loving this new liner from Benefit. This is the They're Real Extreme Precision Eyeliner. I currently only have it in black, but I do plan to purchase the brown as well. This is a waterproof, smudge-proof, long-wearing liquid eyeliner. It has a tapered 0.1 millimeter brush tip for that precision application. And I don't think I said this yet, but it retails for $24. Okay, I'm finishing off the eye category with mascara. I don't tend to rave very often about mascaras because I really don't need them to be that amazing for the most part because I wear falsies so often. I try pretty much every mascara that comes on the market, but none of them give me a true false lash effect. Now, many of you have recommended different lash growth serums to me, and I appreciate that very much, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am way too lazy when it comes to using those types of products consistently. I don't know what happens with me. I will use them for 3-4 days in a row and I'll think, all right, I'm gonna keep using this until I see results. And then inevitably day 4, I forget, then day 5, I forget, day 6, maybe I'll remember. The bottom line is I have resigned myself to the fact that I am just going to be a false lash girl for life. That said, there is one mascara I have tried this year. At least I think and hope it was this year. Now that I think about it, did this mascara come out late last year? Well, it's been my favorite this year, and it's time for me to finally buy a new one. It is the YSL Lash Clash. It is the YSL Lash Clash Mascara. Saying Lash Clash is not that easy. Anyway, mine is looking pretty rough at this point because I do not do what is recommended, which is to buy a new mascara every 3 months or so. I pretty much use them until they get to this point. I think I've had this one for about 6 months. I want to say that it came out in January and that's when I bought it. Yeah, I can barely close it anymore. I did use it today and it was fine, but yeah, I'm gonna have to buy a new one. It's painful to buy a new one because it is pretty expensive, but this is the closest thing I have found to giving me anything resembling a false lash effect. I have very fine, short, blonde, thin eyelashes. And a lot of times mascaras that have this sort of bigger applicator to them will pull out the curl because I always curl my lashes first, or they'll flake or smudge. I have had absolutely no issues with this mascara. No flaking, no smudging, it stays black all day. If I'm going to spend $30 on a mascara, you better believe it better be good. All right, I am almost near the end of my picks for the top new makeup releases of 2022 so far. And I am realizing just now that I only have one drugstore product in this entire video. So please let me know in the comments if you would like to see me do perhaps a best new drugstore products of 2022 so far. I might not have one for every single category, but I could probably do like a top 10. I feel like there have not been a lot of new drugstore foundations and concealers released so far this year. There was the L'Oreal balm, the Age Perfect balm, and I did not like that at all. It did not work for my skin whatsoever. Neither did the serum foundation. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think that there were a lot of drugstore products that I felt were right for me when it comes to complexion, but I do know that I have definitely found some excellent drugstore products so far this year, including my pick for my favorite lip. This is from Maybelline. This is the Superstay Vinyl Ink in the shade Peachy. I need to have words with whoever named this shade Peachy. It is not peachy at all. It is a beautiful pinky mauve with a hint of brown. It goes on shiny, but in a few minutes it does dry down. When it dries down, it does feel slightly dry, slightly uncomfortable, but nothing at all like a lot of the other long-wearing lip products on the market. I will top this with just a clear gloss, and I find it to be very comfortable. I think the color is fantastic for every day, even for a night out. I would wear this for a night out as well. And I've paired it with my pick for my favorite lip liner release of 2022, and that is the Sculpting Pencil from Makeup by Mario. Now, I'm pretty sure that the lip pencils launched in 2021, but he did recently come out with some new shades, and I picked up one of the newer shades called Smoky Pink. And if you have a skin tone like mine and you're looking for the perfect nude pink with just a hint of brown, you have got to try Smoky Pink. I think it's a perfect match for the Maybelline Peachy lip color, but it's a perfect match for so many of my nude pink, nude brown, pink lipsticks. I would say that this Smoky Pink lip pencil goes with 85 or 90% of the lip colors I own. And the pencil itself is very creamy, it's very long wearing, it comes with a sharpener, you've got a brush on the other end to blend the lipstick into the liner if you so choose. I just cannot get enough of these Makeup by Mario lip pencils. All right, that does it. Those are my picks for the best new makeup releases of 2022 so far. Unfortunately, try as I might, I could not pick a lip gloss favorite because, well, first of all, I don't think any of my lip gloss favorites were new this year. I do really like the new Too Faced Lip Injection Maximum Plump. I've been using that quite regularly. So, all right, then I guess I do have a pick. I guess I will choose the Too Faced Maximum Plump. It really does give a nice plumped look to my lips. It's hydrating, and I like that it works before you apply lipstick, and also if you apply it on top of a lipstick, you'll still get that plumping effect. All of the products I've spoken about today will be, as always, listed and linked down below in the description box. If you did enjoy this video, I really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and join the Risa Does Makeup family. I do try to upload new videos at least twice per week. You can find other content from me on Instagram and on TikTok under the same username, Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.